So a man said that he was forced to see sexually explicit content and it caused him emotional distress. Now, why the hell would you go to a Madonna concert? I mean, come on.
Right.
Like,
also, like, forced to see. Who forced you to?
Who forced you?
You bought the ticket.
You bought the ticket.
Also, emotional distress is crazy.
It's so crazy. And I went to the concert and it was like...
How are you doing emotionally?
I'm like thriving.
Okay.
I was thriving. I was like, do it again. I was like, show me more Speaking of the word congealed, I don't know if I've mentioned this on the pod yet, but I actually recently dumped a guy for not knowing what the word congealed meant. So I was wondering, do you know what it meant? Do you know what it means?
Using context clues.
Yeah.
Is it? I recently learned what coagulate means.
Yeah, another good one.
Yeah, and I feel like they're in like the same family. They probably don't mean
that different. Yeah. Congealed just means like all squished together and like, you know, gone hard after whatever. It's a good word for pasta after it's been like in Postmates or whatever. Like, you know, when you Uber Eats pasta, it's always like congealed in one part. But anyway, this guy I was seeing, we got John and Vinny's and I was like, oh no, the pasta's congealed. And he was like, what? And I was like, I didn't specifically break up with him for that.
Get out of my house.
But it was kind of like the beginning of the end. Yeah. You know what I mean?
It's like when you know, you know.
Exactly. Brett Neustrom, welcome to the pod. Welcome to Office Hours, where we talk about everything interesting on the internet this week. I'm so happy to have you. We've never met in person before, but I like go to your page specifically to watch your videos because you're very funny. And I know that's like a hard thing to say because you're like, what the f- am I supposed to say when someone says that? But you're very, very funny.
Okay, well, obviously you're like an icon in the industry, so... I think I'm like a little child and you were like a mentor to me.
No. I think I was just at the right place at the right time. Like it was 2020. Yeah. The year was 2020. You know, it was like the roaring 20s of internet. It was, you know, a good time to get rich quick, so to speak. And it was just, you know, it was a good time. But I'm kind of like, I don't know. I think influencers, content creators, whatever the fuck you want to call us, are like athletes. Like we have a couple good years in us. Like most people go in, they've got like few good seasons and then they're done and you never hear from them again. And they have to move to like Arizona or like somewhere else and get a big house and like have 6 kids and just like never hear from them. But if you try really hard, like you can become, you know, one of the greats. Like you can weave your way in and out and of the sport. You can become like a commentator. Like you can, but it's hard. Like I don't think the influencer lifespan is that long. Yeah,
it's weird because a lot of my friends do social media and they've all been doing it for like 5+ years and they're like, I like need to get out. I need to do something new.
Totally.
And I still am like an adolescent in this space. And so I'm like, woo,
you're like, I love it. Brand deals. And by the way, like I still love it. It just gets harder when you've done it for so long because you get like in your head and you get kind of jaded and you know, you have enough flop videos where you're like, I literally cannot take this anymore, but I still love it.
Yeah. Well, it's definitely like, there will be days where I wake up and I'm like, what if I never think of a video idea ever again?
Totally.
And then I like make toast and just like continue on with my day. And I'm like, okay.
Then you start a podcast. That's what you do.
Yeah. I've been doing a lot recently where it's like 3 videos. And then they like, the concept is just like show the product and then come up with 3 video ideas. And then I like send them. They're like, we actually don't like any of those ideas. Can you do 3 more concepts? I'm like, this is going to be horrible.
But I feel like the good thing about you is your videos are so varied that you can kind of make it what you want. Every single brand without fail is like, what if you did like rich mom pasta? Or like, what if you did rich mom this? And I'm like, I haven't made a rich mom video in 2 years, you guys. Like it won't land. And they're like, what if it was like rich mom Q-tips? And I'm like, no. Like we need to think of a new creative or like pick a different influencer because like that's not even me anymore. Not that I don't like the rich mom videos, but it's just like, I feel like people are over them. I feel like, you know what I mean?
So. Well, everyone always wants me to do like a skit and then I will do it. And they're like, I feel like you're being mean in this video. I'm like, that's kind of my humor.
Yeah,
like,
that's your humor. Like, I know. Don't ever lose that because I used to have that humor.
Don't ever lose being mean.
Don't ever lose it. No,
I won't.
By the way, we need to bring being mean back.
Right.
I'm so serious. Like this is my soapbox. I have 2 soapboxes right now. We need to bring being mean back and bring clubbing back. And we were better as a society when those 2 things were flourishing. Okay. When people were more mean, like it was a much better time when people were just straight up mean to celebrities. Like now we have to find a moral reason. Now we have to like, you know, analyze everybody through this lens of like goodliness. And I'm like, it was so much better when we were just like, her dress is ugly.
Yeah.
It's fine to say that. It's literally so much better to say that than these fucking think pieces that come on TikTok. I'm like, Jesus Christ, you didn't have to analyze her family tree back six years.
Like, just comment on her outfit.
Just comment on her outfit. Just roast the outfit. Bring back Joan Rivers' spirit. Exactly. You know, that's what we want.
Yeah.
So what was the best thing you ate this week? This is your warm-up question.
This is like something that I thought I kind of created. And then obviously I can't keep anything to myself. So I told everyone, I was like, you guys, I've been doing this bagel with cream cheese and like an heirloom tomato on top. Assuming everyone would be like, wait, what? Are you like revolutionary? Everyone's like, oh yeah. And
that's like the most common bagel on Instagram.
Yeah, exactly. There's like millions of accounts that like post like, and I thought I created that, which I did steal from Dialogue, but I thought it was like a Dialogue original. Yeah. And then like ex Brett Neustrom. But now I'm finding out it's just like a really normal breakfast thing to have.
Really normal bagel.
But it's insane. Like
it's so good.
I can't really do eggs. Like I get the egg.
I have the egg so bad, by the way. Oh my God. And it's like, it's so inconvenient because eggs like do pop up quite a bit, you know, like they're number everywhere. One breakfast option. You can't escape them. And I have had the egg for so long. And I just, you know, when you're in it, it's kind of like doing drugs. It's like when you're doing them, you're like, this will never end. Yeah. And that's kind of how I feel about the egg right now. I'm like, it's never going to stop.
Eggs are drugs if you think about it. It's a form of drug.
It is a form of drug.
But it is like healthy. It's convenient. It's so
it's amazing.
Easy.
That's why it's so.
And that's like, I'm like, why can't I not like some weird ass like bolognese pasta that obviously I'm never gonna make?
No, exactly.
Why ick for that?
Why can't I get the ick for carbs? Like, why do I need to eat a fucking bagel every single morning?
Yeah.
I digress. Anyway, the bagel thing. First of all, shout out Dialogue. We love them. Yeah. They're so good.
Exactly. And they created the tomato.
They created that. Yeah.
No one else has done that.
No one else has done that. No, I waited in line for like the It Bagel, Courage Bagel.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that's quite
a commitment.
That's a commitment. It's a production. It's absolute insanity. And I mean, you go like, it's just so LA that they had to make it like so fancy and such a big deal. And I wouldn't say I'm kind of a snob, but like, I'm not a snob in that I don't mind waiting in line, like for something like a club, for example. I think it's important to wait in line for clubs, whatever.
Builds character.
But you would never catch me waiting in line for a designer food item. I just like, that's not in the realm of things I'm willing to do. I never stood in line for a fucking cronut. I never stood in line for, you know, any of the designer bagels. But then one time my friend said, oh, you can cut the line for the Courage Bagel thing. And I was like, well, how long is this fucking line? It was 2 LA city blocks.
Yeah, that's horrible.
And I still cut the line and it was an hour wait, even though I cut the line because they were so like, and I was like, you guys need to go to New York. Like they really, they can do it really fast. Yeah.
Wait, also how'd you get like a fast pass?
Because my friend was doing a collab with them. And so, so I ordered every bagel on the menu. Guess how much it cost? I was like, because I was there. I was stressed out. I'm never going to do this again. I was like, give me one of everything. Guess how much it was?
I'm terrified.
$160.
That's insane.
I was like, does it come with a car? Like, I'm just, anyway, they were good. Bagels. The tomatoes were perfectly sliced.
And you know how much I love a tomato on a bagel.
I do. Tomatoes are another thing that people get the ick of, but not me, man. I love a fucking tomato.
I've always been team tomato. Wait, what are your thoughts on community goods?
You know,
because that is a production now.
That is
a feature film, borderline.
Let me put it this way. I am happy that I have lived in LA for 5 years now when it came out, because if I had been like a baby, like in my infancy of my LA life and of being an influencer, this bitch would have been waiting in that line every day.
Putting on your nicest fit.
Putting on my nicest fit.
Tripping
like
out.
Literally wearing, you know, a workout set, but full beat.
Yep.
And waiting in line and like just wanting to get a glimpse of some of my favorite influencers. I want to get the matcha next to them. I love what they're doing. I respect any game. I've been there once. I just don't have the time to wait there in the line. Like, what's your take on it?
I feel like when I'm in line, I've only gone probably like 3 times and I'm immediately like sobered up where I'm like, oh wait, I'm waiting 45 minutes for like breakfast sliders.
Yeah.
For eggs on a piece of bread. Like, and obviously they're insane if you guys haven't tried it.
Yeah,
like,
they're insane.
Definitely.
The dipping sauce is really,
you
really
give me any like semi-orange dipping sauce, I'm going to absolutely whore out for it.
No, literally.
But I will not wait in a 15-minute line.
No, it's so crazy. But
and then there's no place you order, and then you're just standing amongst
like
your peers.
All these like hot people just like looking around awkwardly, being like, "Are you gonna sit there?" Like, and you're just like, "I can't. I can't do this. I can't do this." What was the most annoying part of your week?
I was just in like a horrible week or like mood this week.
Same.
Well, not to like get super into it, but I was up for, because I'm like, I'm back in my acting shit, you know? Like,
yeah.
We all know this. No one knows this. But I got really close to getting this role, like down to, which this is obviously so like douchey to be like, I was actually like really close to getting this role. But the more annoying thing is, I think I was runner up, but I know it was like down to 4 and then they cut a few people and I was still in it. Then I did not get it, which is fine. That's the acting world. But now I'm like, they're not posting like who was runner up, Right. And so now I don't have any like bragging rights where it's just like, oh, dang, I was like really close to like, a really cool project. And now no one, and like with the deadline, I can't like repost that to story. I was like, I was actually, I was the second person between me and that person. So
you could just claim it anyway.
Yeah.
You should just say that.
I know.
That's so frustrating. I'm sorry.
No, but it's literally fine. Like I will survive, but that was in like a horrible mood.
Yeah, I get it.
I had to like I made a video. I usually make videos based on other people, which is like kind of fraud of me.
No. But you do like a lot of impressions of annoying people, which is so good. But it's like, it's such a good way to get like passive aggression out. Like I always do that too. I'm like, this is a thing of like a girl who's like a stupid bitch on The Bachelorette and everyone's like, wait.
I did like a nasty subtweet video recently and obviously people found out immediately who it was about because it was so directed.
Was it a friend?
An ex-friend, yeah.
Wow.
But it's hard when like, I don't know if you've had this experience, but when you have like a falling out with someone because they're like kind of like a horrible person. Yeah. But then you just like continue to see them do well. And I'm like, how do you guys not see this?
I know. What's your sign?
An Aries.
Okay, interesting. Ooh, so yeah.
I don't really know anything about astrology, but...
Oh, but you've lived in LA for 5 years?
I know.
That's shocking.
I know. I've like...
You just
avoided every single conversation somehow.
Someone's like, birth sign, and you're like, get away from me.
I just can't do my own research. Like if someone sat me down and was like, here's everything you need to know about Aries. Like in a scary way, I cannot do research. Yeah. Like I bought the same exact car as one of my friends because she had it. And I'm like, I'm not going to like go and do research on this. Like I don't need to do a senior thesis right now. Like I just need a new car. And then she did come to me with the dealership and she's like this like petite little woman. I'm a 6'4" man and I'm like standing behind her and she's like, does this like work? And I'm like, yes. But again, I literally cannot do anything for myself at all. And it's like scary.
No, same.
But then no one else really is like there
to help.
I
know. But you're like Gen Z, which is crazy because I feel like Gen Z, like millennials are known to not be able to do anything by themselves. Like I always say that I think every time I go to the bank, like I have to go with my mom because it's so scary to me. Yeah. And I always think that like they think that I'm being robbed because like we'll go in and I'll be like, is this the right card? And she's like, take that one out. And I'm like, and she's like, and say the number. And I'm like, it's, but yeah, she has to go. It's so scary.
No, and even when I'm like at a restaurant, sometimes like my friends and I will joke, we'll be like, okay, I'm going to clock in really fast. And it will be like to go stand up and ask the server for something. I like can barely do it's
scary.
It's scary. Like I need to like, I'm regressing by like the day. And I don't know how to stop it. So I'm like, check back in. Like I'll come back on in like 4 years and it will be like a shell of a human. Gaga. Yeah, no, literally. I should probably go back to college. I have a college degree though. So that's like
unreal.
Like cool, I guess. Again, don't use it at all.
I feel so embarrassed saying slay in front of anyone Gen Z, but like I spend so much time online that I do, I'm sorry. So.
No, there are some things that just like slip out.
It slips out.
Yeah.
It's so bad.
I've been doing me when I.
Oh,
which like no, it's horrible. Like I'm doing that template in real life.
No, my brain rot is so advanced. And the thing is, my group of friends is all like from before being an influencer, especially like my college friends. Yeah. So they have zero brain rot. They don't even like know who Addison Rae is. So I'm like so advanced and they don't even understand me anymore to the point where they're literally like, we're one of my friends getting married this weekend. And I was like, when you're a bride. And she's like, what?
She's like, what do you mean? Like, never mind.
And I was like, in your bride era. And she's like, I don't get it. And I'm like, okay.
This is why I had to like drop everyone from like high school and like mostly college because I'm like, I'm just like an insufferable human being.
I'm insufferable.
And we can't even like talk about normal things anymore because I'll just like throw in random shit that proves that I've been on the internet for far too much.
Far too long. Okay. I love it. This is your last warm up question. Okay. Not that you need warming up, but what are some of your funny group chat names and why?
Ooh.
Do you have funny group chat names?
I have a few. I mean, this one's like, It's like kind of, I'm so like weird about talking about social media and any like quote unquote success I've had from it.
Right.
But there is this one. So I went to Camp Poosh.
Yeah. Oh,
for
that's great.
Coachella,
Yeah.
which was an insane experience. But it was my birthday, the day I had to go to Camp Poosh, like in the afternoon.
Yeah.
And so I had my friends come up to Palm Springs and I rented a house and like we all just like hung out.
Yeah.
And then I had to leave my like Airbnb with all my friends to go to Camp Poosh. So then the group chat is now called Camp Neust because it was like Camp Poosh versus Camp Neust.
That's amazing. And even like saying Camp Poosh and knowing what we're talking about, like people from home are probably like, what the fuck?
Exactly.
Like, and we're like, oh yeah, Camp Poosh.
Yeah.
Like, duh. Okay,
and like, well, Chef K was obviously in the kitchen cooking all the meals.
Chef
and like,
K.
who is Chef K?
I love when Chef K cook. I mean, I've never had Chef K's cooking, but like I love that.
Like, oh my
content.
God, you haven't had Chef K?
No, literally.
You're going to love it. You're going to love it.
Okay.
Do you have any fun ones?
The one I use most is Cock Fans, and that's just pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah, exactly.
Actually have my college friends one is actually called the Midwest.
Oh, wow.
It's for a long story, but like we call ourselves the Midwest. We have Slutty Squad, again, self-explanatory.
Yeah, I get the gist.
You know, that a few, just like mainly about
I really
dicks.
love Cock Fans.
Cock Fans is just, you know, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Like we're fans of, you know.
I want like that on like a baby tee even.
Yeah, Cock Fans is so cute.
I started writing down like things that I said out loud that I want on a baby tee.
I love baby tees.
One of them is show cock, which I think is just
that's so cute.
Out of context, it's just like show cock. Yeah.
No, show cock.
Just
like
do it.
I love that because one of my favorite phrases also put your dick on the table. So it's I love that too.
Yeah.
But I love anything on a baby tee. It just makes it so like like
exactly. It
baby
can be like something so vulgar, but then it's like, oh, it's cute.
Yeah, I love that. Okay. So are you a Madonna fan?
My dad used to listen. My dad is a straight male, but he was like obsessed with Madonna, and we would drive around his like huge like red F-150 in Iowa and listen to Madonna, and I was like, how are these two things like? Even like my 7-year-old self was like, how this doesn't make sense, but I'd be like, you can be my lucky like I like randomly know a ton of Madonna songs from my dad, but I haven't kept up with her recently.
Fair.
But I did do a little bit of research
on the tour. So she's getting sued, basically. Madonna is hit with a lawsuit in California over sexually explicit content at her celebration tour. So a man said that he was forced to see sexually explicit content and it caused him emotional distress. Now, why the hell would you go to a Madonna concert? I mean, come on.
Right.
Like,
also, like forced to see. Who forced you?
Who forced you?
You bought the ticket.
You bought the ticket.
Also, emotional distress is crazy.
It's so crazy. And I went to the concert and it was like,
how are you doing emotionally?
I'm like thriving. Okay. I was thriving. I was like, do it again. I was like, show me more tits. Yeah. But I'm show cock. Exactly. There were boobs on stage and I loved it because I think personally as a society, we all need to be more into sexuality and like also not taking things so seriously. Like it's fine. Like everyone needs to get laid more. And Madonna is like, it's pretty incredible that she's into her 60s and she can dance like that. And also that she's so free. Right. And also, I didn't really know this before, but since watching, I'm not like the biggest Madonna fan. I just like, I felt like sometimes I get anxiety if it's like the last time to see something and people were like, this is the last time she's going to do a tour. So I was like, I really want to go, whatever. But throughout the concert, they were basically showing how boundary pushing she was in the time. You know, she has like this whole song dedicated to her friends who she lost from AIDS and like how she was talking about it and standing up for them back in the day when no one was, and like how she was pushing the boundaries on like dressing very androgynously and like all this really cool like very pro sex stuff. Yeah. And I'm like, that's who she is. And also like, just let her cook, like let her do it. Top off let her take her top off. Yeah. Let her pretend to be eaten out by like, you know, a 20-year-old dancer. Like
this is like normal stuff.
Like, I mean,
if I go to a concert and I don't see at least like one boob, like I'm like, concert tickets are expensive. Like it's kind of a rite of passage at this point.
Show cock. Like
show cock. I also think like if I was performing and I was so sexual that someone had like an emotional response to it, I'd be like, damn, I was like working. Like I was really like doing some things.
I would
like that girl can move if this man is like thinking about it that many days later. Like I've never made someone think about my body that much.
Oh my God. Also, like, how much time do you have on your hands to file a lawsuit because of a concert that you went to? Like, seriously, I wish I had that much fucking time and extra money to be like, and also, can you imagine the lawyer like, hello, like John and Sons, and they're like, yes, I was traumatized in Madonna concert. He's like, okay, like, and it's bizarre. Like, the lawyer must be absolutely scraping the barrel too if that's the kind of case he's taking on.
Exactly. Yeah, that's a lot of work for just like, again, you know, I wouldn't do that due to all the research that probably comes with it. I'm like, it's fine. I just saw it hit. Like, I'll be fine. Like
you could be robbed and you'd be like, it's whatever.
No, things could go like dangerously wrong. And I'd be like, I'm not going to like if someone broke into my house and they like stole all my shit and then just like left, I'm like,
you're like, honestly,
that's so
whatever.
annoying. Yeah. And they're like, probably go back to this. I shattered my lamp in the middle of the night the other day and I just bought it. And I was like, whatever. And I like roll back to sleep. And this man is filing a lawsuit because he saw a titty. Come on.
Okay.
Go outside.
Literally touch grass.
Yeah.
Touch grass on a baby tee would be so cute.
Oh, yeah.
Why hasn't someone done that?
I don't know.
Ooh, I want to make that.
Maybe we could do like a baby tea business.
Like a little baby
tea. I have time.
Like, I know, but research needs going to that. I'd be like, Brett, go look up the best manufacturer. You'd write it on a piece of paper. You'd be like, here.
Yeah, I'd give it to someone else.
But that on a baby tea would be very cute. Okay. How do you feel about J-Lo? Because like you're on TikTok a lot too. And like the discourse on TikTok is incredibly negative.
Yeah.
Which like I hate to dogpile, but like I kind of agree with.
I just like, she's not like impressive to me.
Right.
I've also gone to like music festivals when she's been there. And it's literally like my reaction was like, why is she here?
Yeah, it's kind of that.
I'm like, I don't need to like, okay, do you guys want to go pee now? Like since she's like up on stage.
So Live Nation announced that the singer's This Is Me Live is canceled because she's taking time off to be with her children, family, and close friends. She said, I'm completely heartsick and devastated about letting you down. Who? Please know that I wouldn't do this if I didn't feel like it was absolutely necessary. I promise I will make it up to you and we will all be together again soon. But it's like we all know it's because, did you see that one video on TikTok that was like, it was the concert venue and it was completely empty. There was one and it was just...
That's so embarrassing.
It's so embarrassing. If I were her, I would be like, I don't even want to do the first one. Like, just let's say it now so that it's not, they don't have the footage.
Yeah. That's so embarrassing.
No, it's so embarrassing. And like, oh gosh, I just feel like she played everything completely wrong because like I'm a millennial. I did grow up with like a lot of iconic J-Lo songs. Yeah. Like Waiting for Tonight and, you know, the one where she's walking through the snow in the little pink fluffy outfit, like so many iconic moments. And I feel like every other kind of pop diva or millennial icon was kind of like, okay, I see what's happening. There's like a nostalgia moment, a nostalgia play. I basically need to like make fun of myself and like lean into it. And that's how you play it out.
Yeah.
And she just like doubled down and took it so seriously and really just wanted to pretend like she was the biggest star in the world. And it's like, I feel like the biggest thing you can do as a celebrity is to really know where you stand in people's eyes and kind of play into that. Like Mariah Carey, for example, and I'm not comparing the two, but like she knows we love that fucking Christmas song.
Yeah.
She does all the TikToks about it. She's like, it's time. She joined TikTok just to scream it's time to us every November. And like everybody loves that. It's like, you know, that's it, you know,
expect it now.
That's what we want from you, you know?
We don't need anything else. It's literally just like that one song at this point.
Literally.
You can like take the rest of the 10 months off, just rest and recover because we need you bright and early November 1st for that one TikTok. Do you love that song? Because I'm like, at this point, I'm like, I think I've had enough.
I hate to agree with you because I do love it, but like I've had enough.
Yeah. It's like, I've been listening to it consistently for like 15 years.
I know. And it's like, I feel like we need a 2-year break and then I'll be excited again. But it's like, I'm almost like, oh God. And she keeps doing it a little like earlier and earlier. Yeah. I'm like, okay, not in October.
Yeah.
We just chill out.
We agreed on November 1st. Let's stick to that date.
Let's stick to it. But like, I'm trying to think of a good example of like another millennial pop, like even Christina Aguilera, she's not doing that much, but when she does pop out, she's very like, I know my place. Like, I know you want to hear the hits. I know you don't want any of this new stuff. And also, I just feel like in terms of the celebrity climate, when J-Lo funded her movie and then filmed herself being rejected by every other celebrity wanting to come on, like you should have taken the hint, you know, that people weren't having it.
She's like, let's go on tour.
Yeah.
You're like, you're fine, actually. No. We don't need that.
And then like, I don't know who on her team okayed the clip of her being like, you know, the deli order that went viral on TikTok when she was like, oh God. She was basically saying like, oh, well, back in the Bronx, like my order was this, and that. And everyone was like, don't try to like pretend that was like yesterday.
Yeah.
Like you've been
out. She loves bringing up the Bronx.
She loves it. Well, I feel like also I just feel like that's another symbol of being an unrelatable celebrity is thinking like, okay, I'm unrelatable. What is the most relatable thing? Oh, to talk about how when I was a teenager, I lived in the Bronx. Yeah. And it's like, no, like that's like people are so media literate now that they kind of see right through that shit. Like that's the thing. So I don't know.
She was like, I grew up like poor. It's like, okay, that was like 45 years ago. How is that coming up in every single conversation and interview you've had since?
Literally.
Like, yeah, that was like a crazy story 20 years ago when you told it.
Yeah.
We've heard it.
We're past it.
She reminds me kind of like your drunk neighbor who comes over to your parents' like house and gets like randomly wine drunk and like makes you dance with her and is like trying to be sexy. And it's like, you like babysat me. Like, what do you?
Yeah, exactly.
You don't need to like put on a show.
Yeah,
we don't need a salsa dance in my parents' living room. Like, put the veto down. That's how I'm like, just end your career. You're honestly fine. You want to spend time with your friends and family, do it.
She should have stopped when, didn't she do the Super Bowl?
Did she?
Yeah. Remember she did, the documentary came out. She did the Super Bowl. Go out on top. Like, I'm a big fan of that. Like, just don't keep going. Like, seriously. Yes, the announcement comes shortly after reports of marital issues between J-Lo and Ben Affleck. Yeah, I mean, wish them the best, I guess.
I guess she needs time off.
She needs time off.
Because her career is flopping.
Her career is flopping. What's your favorite soda? Do you drink soda?
Not really.
Whoa, healthy.
I've been like...
That's so Gen Z of you.
I just like didn't ever grow up drinking soda.
Really? In Iowa?
So, yeah, like my parents were like randomly... Like I didn't have like sugary cereals.
Did you have were they almond parents?
Oh, of course.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, like I'm like pretty messed up because I'm just kidding.
You're like, I haven't eaten this.
Yeah, no, literally because of my mom and dad being like almond parents. Mm-hmm. Like when we would go on family vacations, we would just like pack a ton of like granola bars, Belvitas, and trail mix. And that was like most of our meals. And I'm like, hey, I'm like a grown man, especially now. I'm like, I need to like eat at least 2 meals a day. I know that's crazy. And they're like, just have a Cliff Bar. And I'm like, I've had 3 already. That was my lunch. Like I would love just like a chicken sandwich. But yeah, so I didn't really have soda growing up. I do really like heavily mess with me trying not to cuss.
You can cuss.
I can cuss?
Yeah.
Okay, I fuck with Poppies.
No, Poppy is so good.
Yeah, I love a good like prebiotic, probiotic soda.
I love Poppy. I'm actually obsessed with Poppy. I basically have one a day. Yeah. What's your favorite flavor?
Well, okay, now that I said that out loud, I actually really like the Olipop root beer. That would be like...
Well, Poppy and Olipop are very different. Yeah. I'm a Poppy girl.
Well, I get, in Elite Sushi Wait, scent Poppy a lot. And so it's always nice to have like a refrigerator where people come over. I'm like, take a Poppy. It's like not on my dime.
Yeah.
Have you had Culture Pop?
No.
It's really good.
Is it healthy?
Yeah, I think it's like healthier.
I'm like first of all, I drink like 3 Diet Cokes a day. Okay. So just like to level set. Okay. I'm very unhealthy. But then to cancel that out, I have a Poppy too.
Right.
You know?
That makes sense.
And I love Poppy. But you like the Olipop, which one?
The root beer.
Okay, it's good.
Yeah, you need to try it. And then Culture Pop too. It like, what? It's like less sweet, so that I just sound like kind of like a douche for that.
No,
like,
you don't.
I just like don't need all that sugar.
No, sugar is bad for us.
But then like obviously I'll take sugar in other places. But like when I'm drinking my probiotic sodas, I prefer the light option.
I know.
Watching my frame.
No, I agree. It's like you've got to pick and choose your battles. Yeah. Like I really believe in that.
Like Bonza over regular pasta. Let's end on a high note. I'm like, I love Bonza. It's such a healthy alternative.
No, it's good because it has protein. And also if you cook it wrong like you did, then you eat less. Yeah, so it's like
exactly.
Double.
Yeah. Regardless, it's healthy for you.
No, I really believe in like you have to pick and choose where you take your calories. Like I'm like, I'm not going to waste calories on something bad, but I'm happy to spend it on something good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I get so annoyed when I have like a bad meal because it really bothers me. Like time, money, and calories. Like I'm like, I don't want to go to a restaurant if it's bad. Yeah. I'm so particular. Where do you go in LA? Where do you love? Are you a goer outer or a stayer inner?
I go to like the same like 3 places.
That's the LA way.
And then I just like really like for lunch, I go to Erewhon, Mendocino Farms. That's it, actually.
What do you get from Erewhon?
I either do the hot bar where they have a turkey bacon wrap.
I get that a lot too.
And it's insane. And then also the tofu sticks go crazy.
They do. They're so good.
But then for like dinner, I love Crossroads.
Oh,
I go there.
Are you vegan?
No.
You just said turkey bacon. Just kidding.
Yeah. But that place, again, like if I can.
Slaps.
I love like pretending to be vegan when it's like convenient, where it's like.
Yeah. Ooh. Or I love just saying like to some like kind of a new friend, like, oh, there's a really good vegan restaurant. And maybe they think I'm vegan for a second.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I eat steak every day.
Exactly. But like. For that 2 seconds, they're like, "Oh wow,
like, oh yeah,
she's like fit and
like
cool and trendy."
Yeah.
Crossroads.
No, totally.
What about you? Do you have go-to places?
Oh my gosh, I feel like when I'm in LA, I kind of stay in because I split time between here and New York a lot, and I love to go out. I'm like a club rat, like party, like. Borderline alcoholic. Like I really like to go, but in LA, I'm having a hard time lately with the social aspect of it. So I kind of just stay at home. I mean, I get Erewhon a lot.
Yeah.
I get, I go to Craig's sometimes.
Okay.
But yeah, I kind of go to the same 3 spots.
Yeah.
I go to my sushi spot, which I refuse to say because it's already too hard to get in
That's
there.
That's so fair.
And, yeah, that's kind of it.
Yeah,
boring.
Obviously, I need to start going to better restaurants. But again, the research that goes into it, I'm like,
how could you?
I already know.
You just go with your friends.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
so.
That's so funny because I'm so like the opposite because I'm so anal about food and like I only want to go to good places. So I'm like queen of research on that to the point where it's like I have a group of like 10, 12 friends that I travel with and like we do stuff as a group and I'm like, I am already trying to book things for July and they're like, you need to leave us alone.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm like, well, if it weren't for me, like you wouldn't have any reservations.
Exactly.
So that's annoying me. But anyway, all this to say, Dr. Pepper has passed Pepsi as the 2nd favorite soda brand in the US. Have you had a Dr. Pepper?
No, that's like surprising to me. That's like a sleep. Well, I've had a Dr. Pepper.
Okay, good. I was going to say.
In my life, yes. Obviously, it's like insane. It tastes great.
It's so good.
They have a Dr. Goodwin.
No way.
Olipop.
And does it taste comparable?
Yeah, it tastes comparable.
All right. Well, I need to check that out because I like rip Dr. Pepper.
No,
those are so
good.
But
it is surprising. I didn't know it was like it's up and up.
I feel like
it's having its moment right now.
I feel like that's really bad for Pepsi.
Yeah.
Considering it was always like Coke or Pepsi, like I mean, I personally would never have a Pepsi, but the fact that you know, I feel like they've been neck and neck for so long and it's like, that's insane.
Yeah. Do we have to say like Coke or Dr. Pepper now? It's
so crazy. So Pepsi held the 2nd position since 1985 and both drinks have Coke is the number 1 drink with 19.2% of the soda market share. That's insane. Yeah. And then Dr. Pepper has 8.3 and then Diet Coke has 7.8. That's insane because Diet Coke is the best one. That's really insane.
Like, that's shocking to me.
It's shocking to me. But yeah, I've been seeing Dr. Pepper is experimenting with new flavors. The brand introduced Dr. Pepper strawberries and cream.
That's too much.
That's too much. Dr. Pepper creamy coconut, which is inspired by TikTok's dirty soda trend, which was started by those people from Utah. The Utah soda obsessive people. I was on soda TikTok for like a couple months and basically they get these enormous cups and they fill them up with soda and then they put coffee creamer in it.
That's horrible.
And then they put lime in it and they like put other random shit in it. I'm like, it's already bad for you. Like you don't need to be adding coffee creamer to your soda, although I secretly want to try it. But
oh God.
I feel like the people who came up with these flavors, they are from the same marketing agency that come up with the Oreo flavors. You know, have you ever seen those insane Oreo flavors they come out with every year? They're like Oreos stuffed with Peeps. And I'm like, nobody asked for that. No, like not a damn person. Like Oreos stuffed with jelly beans. And I'm like, it's already a cookie. Like it's too much. Yeah. We just need to relax a little bit.
Like who's that for?
I don't know. I think at this point it's literally to get views on TikTok. I swear that's where everything is going now, where they're like,
all of us just want views on TikTok.
We all just want views. Sick. We're thirsty for it. It's so funny because I don't know. So when did you start TikTok? Like right when you moved to LA or?
No, I didn't really start posting until like 2021.
Okay.
And then I like once every 3 months which I think is so funny that like randomly I just would be like, you know what, I'll throw something on TikTok. But I started posting like consistently like 2 years ago.
Okay.
I'd say.
But don't you feel like it's changed so much?
Yeah.
The landscape. Whereas I feel like everybody still wants to use, but I feel like things stick less. Whereas before it would be like we would really be on something for a while. And now I can barely retain any of the trends or it just moves so fast now, which is interesting.
I know. I really like randomly for being on social media so much. I don't like watch TikTok anymore because, well, first of all,
why?
Let's talk about TikTok Shop.
No.
I'm going to go insane. It's like every 3 videos is TikTok Shop.
Every 3 videos is every video.
Some random like straight man in Wyoming's live where he's like shirtless and cooking eggs. I'm like, what the hell?
No, it's every video and I can't stand it.
Yeah.
I cannot stand it. I know there was a rumor going around that they were like, oh, we're going to have a version where you can pay to see it without TikTok Shop. And I'm like, I would pay. I would give you my money because like I don't want to watch QVC. And I immediately scroll when I see the little icon at the bottom. I'm just like, I don't want to buy it. Like, I don't believe you. Yeah. You're all lying.
Also, it's like, it's $7 for this like hair. And I'm like, that's going to like fry your hair.
No. And also like sorry, but all of the unregulated like supplements, and they're like, I like grew my eyelashes by eating this like mixture that I made in my basement, and I'm like, you shouldn't be allowed to sell this on here. Like,
if you fermented this in your basement, you should not be able to. People shouldn't be able to buy that.
No, it's so crazy. So I don't know. It really, yeah. Okay, Zachary Quinto. Do you know who that is?
I looked him up.
Oh, you did? Okay.
So I'm familiar with him now.
He's an actor.
Okay.
He's in a lot of good stuff. He was criticized by Toronto restaurant for reportedly yelling at staff like an entitled child, making host cry. So Manita Restaurant shared a message on Instagram stories calling the Star Trek actor an amazing Spock, but a terrible customer. Also, like, if you're gonna diss someone, like, you don't need to like, it just like, come on. They wrote, he yelled at staff like why can't I read? He yelled at staff like an entitled child after he didn't reply to 2 texts to inform him his table was ready and refused to believe that empty tables in the dining room weren't available for him despite being politely informed they were spoken for. He made our host cry and he made the rest of the brunch diners uncomfortable. Oh, this was at brunch? That's even crazier. To get that heated at brunch is like, come on. I feel 2 types of way about this. First of all, it's not okay to make anybody cry. You know, that's trash. And everybody always says like, what's your red flag? And it's like, if you're mean to wait staff, which I agree with. I have a rant about that I'm going to do in a second, but hold on. So, but I kind of am also of the mind of like, no one is literally ever allowed to have a bad day anymore. Yeah. So it's like, it's hard to tell. Like, is it wrong what he did? 100%. But also like, everything is such a big deal now. And I don't know like where that ends. Yeah. If you know what I mean.
I obviously think like what he did, I would never do.
Of course.
It's like not right. I think it's hilarious.
Yeah.
It's like you threw a tantrum at brunch. Like that's so like as a grown man, that's hilarious.
Totally.
Do I think they need to like write an article about it? Probably not. But again, I would never do this. You can't talk to people like that. But again, I think it's like,
no,
he threw a tantrum. If we're going to make this article, let's at least like make it funny where it's like,
he threw a tantrum at brunch.
Adult actor, male actor threw a tantrum at brunch.
Yeah.
Because he was being a little bitch.
Because he couldn't respond to his text.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Get it together.
Yeah.
So here's my rant about why, like, I feel like that's a very common question to ask people on podcasts, on like the man on the street things that people do. They're like, what's your red flag? And everyone's like, when someone is mean to wait staff. My hot take is that is like so overdone and such virtue signaling, because it's just a way for you to say like, I am very kind to wait staff and like, I tip heavily. And it's like, we all know like what you're trying to do. At this point, if anybody was rude to wait staff, like they're a trash human being and they would be called out by society per this article. But like, don't say that as your red flag anymore. Say something interesting. Yeah. Say like, ooh, he didn't ask me a question until the 3rd date, or like, I don't know, just something more creative.
Like obviously that's a red flag if they're just like mean to random people who are serving them. It's like
duh. Yeah. Like you might as well be like, it's a red flag if they murder people. Yeah. Like, okay.
Can't do that. Can't do murder. Yeah, no, I do think it is hilarious him throwing a tantrum, but also like get a grip. You're at brunch.
Speaking of fighting, Cher is proud of her boyfriend's fight with Travis Scott. He didn't start the fight. He finished it. Okay, so Cher is standing up for her boyfriend, rapper and music exec Alexander A.E. Edwards, after he got in a fight with Travis Scott at Cannes Film Festival. And this is something Cher wrote on Twitter, okay? She said, "I'm proud of Alexander. He didn't start the fight against two men. He finished it. Gotta love him." The fight allegedly occurred when both Travis Scott and Tyga, who is a friend of A.E., were on stage behind the DJ booth. So how do you feel about Cher? How do you feel about Travis Scott? Like, who are we to believe?
I honestly don't know a ton of stuff about either of them, but obviously I'm obsessed with any like internet beef.
It's good.
I also think just such like two very successful people like beefing it on the internet is so funny to me.
Yeah.
And I'm also like, Cher didn't type that tweet out. Or, Cher doesn't know how to get on Twitter.
You
like
don't
that
think
was
that
was like a full team effort. And she like pressed publish or whatever and like felt so she's like, I did that.
Yeah.
Which I think is hilarious. Like a 78-year-old woman like talking shit on Twitter.
Yeah.
Also, I didn't realize until doing some research, he's 40 years younger than her.
Yeah.
Her boyfriend. And she said, I date younger men because everyone my age is dead.
Which is like, that's amazing.
So hilarious.
By the way, I'm so proud that you did that level of research.
Yeah.
That means you really care.
I know. I really did care. And oh my God. And you know how much I hate research.
Yeah, no, I
and
do.
I
That's
did
why
this
I'm saying
research
that. Yeah,
for you.
I know. Well, I feel honored.
Yeah.
I feel it.
Again, I wouldn't do this for anyone else or anything else.
Thank you.
It's just special to you.
Yeah, I feel like 40-year age gap. I mean, go off. Like I love a celebrity who can make fun of themselves.
Yeah.
I like die for that. I feel like we really need that. I feel like we need to have some jokes. Like J-Lo should honestly take a page from her book and like joke about herself more because it's the key. I mean, yes, people who make fun of themselves all the time are deflecting their deep insecurities, but whatever. Yeah. Like, I just think it's good for celebrities, but it's funny. Like,
also, it's like I always say like people can't make fun of you if you make fun of yourself first.
100%.
And that's where I think I haven't gotten, I mean, hopefully this doesn't change. A lot of like internet hate is because I will just be like,
you'll make fun of yourself. Yeah. No, yeah.
It's like, what are you guys going to say? I already made the joke.
Yeah. I think it's like slightly, sorry to pull this card, slightly trickier for women because every time I make, sorry.
No. You can pull that card whenever.
Because whenever I make fun of myself, people are like, Tinx, you have a big platform and girls look up to you. And if you say that about yourself, then they will think it's okay to talk bad about themselves. And I'm like, I'm just joking that like, I'm a commitment phobe. Like, it's not that deep. Like, let me have a little giggle. And I also think like, not to make this a therapy session for me, but like, because I've been on the internet for so long, it's like now, I don't know. It gets harder and harder to just like have a little giggle because I think people like I have two very different sides to me, which is the very earnest side where I'm really connected with my audience and like I like live for the girls and I do everything for them and like they're the reason I get up in the morning. But I also have a side of where I'm like deeply vulgar and deeply like sarcastic and I just want to like have a joke and whatever. And I think as the more time you get spent on the internet, the more people put you like in a box and they're like, no, you're this person. And you're like, no, sometimes I just want to talk about cocks and like make self-deprecating jokes.
And they're like, choose one lane right now.
Forever.
Yeah, exactly.
I digress. Lenny Kravitz has been celibate for 9 years.
Oh my God.
I'm so shook by this. I think we all are because I feel like I don't know. He's so hot and he's so like sexual. I feel like he's a sexual icon to so many.
Is he choosing celibacy?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think Lenny Kravitz could have found a woman to,
if he wanted.
Yeah, or anybody to bone. He's ditched casual flings for nearly a decade until he finds the right woman. He acknowledged that after his marriage ended with Lisa Bonet, I think it's Bonet, maybe Bonnet.
Either one. Let's do Bonnet just for.
Bonet. In 1991, he acted like a player and wanted to make some lifestyle changes, which led him to a 9-year streak of celibacy, saying, "It's a spiritual thing. I've become very set in my ways and in the way I live." Damn, what's your longest dry spell?
Like currently? I was actually thinking about this on the way over because I like just like don't really just like loosely hook up with people.
That's very Gen Z of you.
But then I'm like recently I'm like, why am I behaving? Like who am I being good for? Why am I not just
literally why?
Having sex?
No, literally.
But I always I prefer just like a borderline aggressive makeout over like sex majority of the time.
Again, that's very Gen Z of you.
Like I am the king of like giving someone like blue ball. Like I'm a blue ball king.
Yeah.
Where like I'll be like borderline having sex. I'm like, should we just go to bed? Which is like kind of, I mean, I'm allowed to do that and they have to respect me, but I'm like, that's like kind of like, I could have just probably shut it down.
No, I think that's fine.
It's funny to a little bit.
Of course it's funny.
I'm lazy.
Yeah, I get that.
Sex is a lot of work sometimes.
Yeah, but it's also fun.
Right.
I'm here to I want people to bang again.
Okay.
I do. I really think it's good for everybody. I think, I don't know. I think 9 years it's long. That's long.
That's also like, you can tell when someone hasn't had sex in a while.
Totally.
Where it's like, you just have to, like, you just start being like kind of weird and you're just like, you just need sex.
Yeah. Cause it's like.
And 9 years of that, I'm like, okay.
There's something about sex. Like, I get it. Sex is serious and like, blah, blah, blah. You get it. But also, sex is so funny to me and so gross that I think it kind of has like a really good way of like bringing you back down to earth, per your point. Like sometimes people get a little weird and I'm like, you aren't having sex. Like, you need to remember that at the end of the day, like, there is no time that I am more aware of the fact that I'm an animal than when I'm having sex. Cause I'm like, this is the goofiest, messiest, weirdest thing, but it feels good. And it's like, and then it's so funny because we're like, oh, but we're a human. And then we wake up in the morning, we put on our little outfits and we like go say all these things to each other. And we're like, all we really want to do is like get fucked and eat good food. Yeah. At least I do.
No, I always think it's funny when you like have sex with someone and it's like crazy. And then you like wake up in the morning, like, should we like brunch or? And it's just like, as if we were like, do you want getting at it. Yeah. It's like, I'm going to make a tea. Do you want anything?
Yeah, for a long time, I don't say why I said for a long time. Still, I have like a lot of morning anxiety. Like, I don't really like a sleepover because I like my space and like, I just like to get up in the morning by myself and like, it freaks me out if they're there and I have to like, I need my mornings.
Yeah, I had a really good thing with my old boss where he would just come over because he did laundry right by where I lived. And we would just have sex. And he's like, all right, I have to like go put my stuff in the dryer. And then I wouldn't see him again for like 3 weeks. And I'm like, this is what like. No,
that's a dream.
This is a healthy relationship.
That's healthy. That's goals. Like hashtag couple goals.
No,
like,
exactly. So I haven't found anything like that convenient. Because again, I don't need to really like, I'm completely fine separating like being emotionally connected with someone in sex. Yeah. Yeah. You know, like if I am emotionally connected to someone, like I just like don't need that for. Yeah. I'm like, we don't even need to like talk really. No, yeah. Like if we know where our place and.
I love a good hookup. I think it's like, it gets harder when you get older because I'm the same way. Like sometimes I just like to have, you know, I think someone's attractive. They think I'm hot, whatever. We have a connection, but I just find myself finding fewer and fewer people hot. Yeah. Which is like such a bummer. Yeah. Whereas when I was like younger, which is why I want to tell you like in your 20s, like you should have more sex. Cause that's the only regret that I have is not having more casual sex when I was younger. Because like as you get older, you're just like, I know that person's going to be messed up. That person's going to be weird. I don't like the look of that person. Yeah. So it's like when you're younger, you're just like horny all the time. And you're just like, God, I wish I had way more sex in my 20s. Yeah. So I'll
bang more this summer.
Please. And think of me while you do it.
Yeah, I will. But I do agree. Like people are getting like less hot and my standards are like scarily high.
Same.
Where I need like an IG baddie like level.
For sure.
To even just like be like, this is worth it. But again, like, I know. I'll just have sex. Like, let my hair down for once.
Let your hair down. Yeah. Yeah. I think it's good. I want everyone to have a lot of sex this summer.
Okay. Let's have a sex-filled summer.
Okay. So Alexander Wang uses celebrity lookalikes for new bag campaign. This is so crazy because I saw this on TikTok and I didn't know what was happening. I thought it was AI, but basically they got these people who are like on TikTok as like celebrity lookalikes and for their marketing campaign, which is just so crazy because I feel like that would make the celebrity so pissed off. Yeah. And if I were a designer, I would never want to piss a celebrity off.
Right. Well, when I read about it at first, I was like, okay, this is like a weird idea, but if like executed correctly, it could have been cool. And then it was just like a low quality TikTok video. I'm like, I was thinking a high production. We're at a studio. These people look just like them.
No, I think it was like low budge.
Yeah, no, it was very low budge.
I think it was like send the people the bags and like and be like, just make a video.
And if I were not to rag on the Taylor Swift girl, but I'm gonna rag on her a little bit. I would if I were Taylor Swift, I would be a little bummed if like this girl is like making a career off of looking similar to me. I'd like, that's similar is generous.
The only one that is so real is the Kylie one, which I get that girl on my For You sometimes. And I'm like, I literally think it's Kylie every time. That is uncanny to Kylie.
It is such a weird idea of like being famous because you cosplay you look like as someone like a celebrity.
No, it's really weird. But yeah, I wonder what the celebs think. They probably don't even care at the end of the day. Like it's Taylor Swift. She has like bigger fish to fry.
Exactly. Probably even see this.
Yeah. Are you a Swiftie?
No.
Okay.
I think she just like would be bullied if she wasn't a pop star, you know? And I'm like a big fan of like being obsessed with people who are talented and also cool.
Yeah.
And I just don't think I would like her.
Who do you think is really cool right now? This is an amazing question because like lately I've been asking people this, but like genuinely, who do you think is cool? I think cool is like really hard to come by now.
Yeah.
I think it's been ruined by social, which is just like such a boring thing to say, but I'm just so curious, like who do you think is cool? Because I feel like someone is cool and they get a little like the only people I think are cool are people who have like 10K followers on Instagram who I find and I'm like, oh my God. Like
the coolest
and I'm like, please don't get big because like you're so cool right now. And like there's a certain like effortlessness to people who don't perform for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Where it's like the more followers you get, the less cool you get.
Right. Well, I was just like racking my brain. Like I was like, oh wait, actually they're not that cool. I have like, I'm obsessed with Emma Chamberlain.
She's cool.
I feel like she's continued to
always
be cool.
Yeah.
And like, she's like the only person who started on social media and like has like built this empire. And it's still like.
And she's still doing
like
it.
Relatable-ish.
Yeah.
Well, I mean like her lifestyle isn't really, but like still is like a really sweet, normal girl and does really cool things.
I know. I think she's amazing. But she doesn't put out that much content. And see, that's the key. And it's like, I wish I could be mysterious, but I just wake up every morning and I'm like, hey, I'm flossing my teeth, like going live. And I'm like, shut the fuck up, Tinx. But yes, I agree. She's cool. I think, let me think. Who do I think is cool? I don't even, I can't even think about who I'm like, oh, they're so cool right now. Who am I obsessed with right now? I don't know. Like,
I think Zendaya is just like great.
She's always cool.
Yeah.
She's very effortless and very like, yeah, she's in it for the long haul.
Yeah.
Like I saw that tweet that was so good. It was a picture of her in the Challengers press tour and someone said, this is going to be one of those photos in 20 years. And I was like, that's so true. Like 100%. She's just so cool and so like has personality, but we don't see too much, but you kind of know who she is.
Yeah.
Effortless. So sick. I'm trying to think in music who I think is really sick. Like Charlie XCX, I think is cool.
Oh, yeah.
So
She's
cool.
Really cool.
Like I love her album rollout is like so flawless to me.
And did you watch the 360 music video?
That's really cool.
That was so sick.
Tapping all those baddies, so smart. Yeah. That was really, really cool.
Do you know who his name's like Terrence? He's dating.
Yeah. I'm obsessed with him.
He's so cool.
He's genuinely like the coolest person. He's one of those people where I'm like, I'm always scared to check if he's unfollowed me on Instagram.
Same.
Because I'm like, oh my God, today's the day. And like, so I don't check because I'm just like, I pray that he just has still kept me on there. But like, not only is he so cool, so good at his job, he's like kind of unknown, but he's like dating someone famous. It's like, that is the epitome of cool.
Yeah.
And he's really handsome. So I'm just like, wow, you win at life.
I know. They're like a power couple. I also, Benny Drama just followed me on Instagram the other day. I just assumed it was an accident.
Oh my God.
So I checked back every single hour for like the first 8 hours. He still hasn't unfollowed me.
Yeah.
I did post a kind of an annoying video, so I had to recheck.
Isn't that the worst when someone cool follows you and you're due to post SpawnCon and you're like, fuck my ass. Oh my God. Like, why now? And your manager's like, no, post the Q-tip video. And you're like, I hate myself. Yeah.
I did a brand deal. It was my least favorite brand deal ever. And it's currently being used as an official TikTok ad. And I've never gotten so many like comments and like DMs that I was like, just saw your, I'm like, I pray to God you didn't. And it was so scripted. It was like, my acting is like Disney Channel, like, wait. And it's so horrifying. And it's being pushed on, like, it's the main TikTok ad, like not like on my page, like TikTok's page.
Yeah, that's the worst.
And also Reddit too. Are you a Reddit girl?
No.
Okay.
Firmly no.
Just due to like people talking. Yeah.
I stay away. Not because I think I'm above it, because like I am literally the most sensitive person. Yeah. And when people are like, ignore the trolls, like they're just haters. I'm like, they hurt my feelings. I'm like, they do a like, 10-10 job. So, I'm like, I need to keep my therapy bill low. Like I'm like, I tip my hat to them. I'm like, you guys kill at your job. Like I can't go anywhere near it.
I'm picking me apart so well. Like you guys are I'm doing, like, yeah.
But yeah, no.
Yeah.
Not in there. But yes, I've had that with when honestly, it's like, it's bad when the brands when the brands don't pay to boost your video, because then it's like 3,000 views and you're like, okay. But when they do boost it, you just know you're open yourself up to like actually like a world of hurt. And I just like, I always scroll. That's the most jarring experience, is when you're on the For You and you see your page, your face, and you're like,
no, it's always like, those are the meanest comments I've ever received, is when they get pushed out and then random people who don't know.
Oh my God.
Like anything about my humor, and they're just like ripping me open. I'm like,
I know. All right. And they stay in your mind. Like I can't remember any good piece of content I did. I did an ad for Pat McGrath in 2021. I thought it was a fine video. The comments were the meanest. Like I will remember that. I'll be on my deathbed at 98 being like, and she said that I remember. Don't know why. It's just bizarre.
That was my first brand deal I did. It was like a Curology one, and it was like on their like Instagram stories. And my mom like was so proud of me. She's like, oh my gosh, send it to me. Forgetting that like you could see the comments, and she like called to do like a wellness check, to be like, hey, how are you holding up? I'm like, oh shit, you read the comments, right? She's like, yeah. I was like, yeah, they're horrible.
Yeah,
like,
it's insane. Yeah.
So people are sweet though.
People are nice. Yeah. I love my job. Love it so much. Positive. Brett, where can people find you? Tell us your handles.
You can find me on TikTok at Brett_Neusty and on Instagram at Brett Neustrom. And I also just posted a vlog on YouTube.
Go follow.
I don't know if I'm ever going to post a vlog again, but it was fun.
Watch.
Are you a vlog? You vlog?
I do on TikTok, but I'm thinking about doing more on YouTube. How was the experience?
It was actually really fun, except for I had all of the videos on my phone, and I had to like airdrop them to my computer, which randomly took 6 hours.
Yeah.
So the actual editing process was so easy and fun. But like,
you just did it with your phone? That's so interesting.
Yeah.
Is it fine to do? Because
I just like think I got my camera stolen.
Okay, fair.
Or I just like misplaced it.
Yeah.
So I don't want to like accuse anyone yet, but like I'm about to start sending out some texts. But yeah, so that's why I just did my phone. But we should just get another camera.
I'm gonna watch it because I feel like you have a cool, fun life. So I want to know more.
It was when I went on a Jose Cuervo branded trip.
Unreal.
But it's not like PC.
I love that.
Like if they saw it, they'd probably be like, hey, like can you actually not say the name of our brand in it? But yeah.
Fabulous. Well, thank you so much for coming on Office Hours. You guys, thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you on Monday. Bye.